There is a place I've been dreaming of going back to for years. A small town in a big country. This is a place that always meets my romanticized expectations. A place so charming, it never disappoints. Old Town Alexandria, Virginia, otherwise known as the cutest town in the USA. It's always a strange, magical thing, returning to the life you used to live, revisiting a small town where everything pretty much stays the same, except you're different. You've changed. I recently went back to this small town that I lived in for a year, and I was reminded of how darling it is, how its charm and beauty matched the memory I had in my imagination. I happily and proudly romanticize my life, but the problem in doing that is sometimes you imagine what a place could be, has the potential to be, rather than what it is. We imagine what things hope it to be, instead of seeing the reality of it. And it's so easy to get disappointed when it doesn't live up to the expectations we place in our head. Now, it's important to note that there are so many beautiful areas in the United States that I haven't seen yet. I haven't been to Missoula, Montana yet. I haven't seen Charleston, South Carolina, or Savannah, Georgia, or Franklin, Tennessee, or Maine, Vermont. There's so many places I haven't been to yet. But so far, from my travels and the several Amtrak trains that I've taken across the country, Alexandria is my favorite town that I've been to. And I was lucky to call it home for a year before I moved to France. So I feel like I know it. I know the people here. I know what it's like to live here. I thought I would take you on a little tour of the town, to my favorite small businesses, shops, and boutiques, the best restaurants, my favorite hotel, and some other magical experiences and places that are worth doing if you're ever in the area. I hope this video inspires you to go on a day trip, explore your local neighborhoods and small towns wherever you are in this beautiful world.
Alex and I are back in our favorite place in the whole USA, Old Town Alexandria. Alex and I used to live in Old Town Alexandria, a small town in Virginia, before we moved to France. Do you love being back?
Oh, it's so nice to be back. It's so peaceful, so much better than New York City, you know?
Yeah.
It's very relaxing and quiet and very livable.
And it's so beautiful and charming. There's a huge community here of boutiques, and so many shop owners and small businesses are here, and it feels like such a community, a warm community, and we're just so excited to be back.
Yeah.
Let's explore.
Old Town Alexandria is the town where Alex and I fell deeper in love and decided to get married. This was the town where his parents met and fell in love 40 years ago, where we celebrated our first anniversary together, and it was where we first moved into an apartment together. And so it goes without saying that this small town in Virginia holds a lot of memories for us. And as it was a mini romantic getaway for Alex and me to revisit our past, we thought it would be really special to stay in a hotel in the center of town, and I knew just where to go. The Morrison is my favorite hotel to stay at in the area. It's elegant, sophisticated, yet cozy, and it's an autograph collection. It has that boutique hotel feel, making it a really unique experience. And this hotel is really cool because it's designed as an ode to literature, decorated with old books and literary classics. Everything from the design of the art to the key cards is a nod to classic stories. This is a small, charming hotel that I've dreamed of staying in since we first moved to Alexandria in 2017. Alex's dad stayed here once, and I remember adding it to my manifestation list that year. And it's just so magical that we were able to have this experience 5 years later. I actually reached out to the Morrison asking if I could stay there in exchange for B-roll content and coverage, and they graciously accepted. It was a magical, magical experience and something I'll remember forever. We also had food at their adjacent restaurant, The Study, and the chef introduced himself, delighting us in his passion for cuisine. He lived and studied gastronomy in Paris and Costa Rica, and he came to Virginia, to the small town, to share his inspirations. To be able to have this experience, to stay at this hotel and come back to Old Town was really magical, and it was like a full circle moment, and it was really special. Oh my gosh, these desserts were absolutely insane, and these churros, oh wow, just amazing. I really recommend coming here if you're ever in Old Town. Check out The Study because it's a great restaurant. Alexandria is a small town, but there's always a lot of things to do, and it's easy to keep busy when you're here. Torpedo Art Factory, one of my favorite things to do when I'm in town. Alex and I used to go on date nights here all the time when we lived here. This is a big building, a warehouse with tons of workshops, art galleries, art workshops, and I even took film photography classes when I was here. I would do darkroom classes and learn about night photography and film photography when I was here. There's so many classes you can take in all different types of art, and it has a lot of cool events too. So if you're ever in the area, be sure to look up their calendar and see what fun events they have. One of the best things to do in Old Town Alexandria is to walk down King Street, which is the main street in Old Town. There are tons of small businesses, boutiques, little artisan shops, and the community of boutiques here in Old Town is really special.
Oh.
Hello, welcome.
Oh. Oh.
You guys having a good day?
One of my favorite shops in Old Town is She's Unique, which is a jewelry shop that sells really delicate, feminine, light, beautiful jewelry pieces. And I've gotten a few different earrings, and I have my moon necklace that I got here years ago, and it's one of my favorite spots. All the shops look like this in Old Town. They're just really charming, really small, really cute, and small businesses. Red Barn Mercantile is one of my favorite shops in Old Town. They have lots of home goods and greeting cards, and you can see here all the Christmas decorations. They decorate this shop so beautifully for the holiday season. Lots of books, coffee table books, and random knickknacks and quirky little things to keep in the home. This is one of my favorite shops. So fun to always take a stroll through here. The energy is really slow here, really simple, and has that small town feel. And I kind of get glimpses of Stars Hollow from Gilmore Girls whenever I'm in Old Town. It has that New England vibe, that seasonal energy, but also there's that community involvement. Another really fun spot is Penny Post. And this place is magical. If you like stationery and letter writing and journaling and pens, all of those wonderful magical delights, you will love this shop. It is such a treasure. I actually fell in love with this shop the first moment that I stepped in it years ago, and I applied for a job on the spot, and I worked here for a few weeks. but it's a lot of unpacking boxes and taking stock in inventory. It wasn't really something I found a lot of joy in, but it's such a cool place to visit. I'm just like looking at all these things back. Oh my gosh, these mild liner highlighters are the best. These are my go-to highlighters. You can only get them, I have found, in the US or Japan. It's really hard to get them in Europe. Same with these jelly roll pens. Oh, love these. Oh, and you can get a whole pack of mild liners. You can get them individually. I actually bought a few individual ones in my favorite pastel colors. Oh my gosh, this is like, this is my favorite thing ever, looking at all these pens and washi tape. There are so many boutiques, not enough time to put them all in this vlog, but another favorite is Shoe Hive. Shoe Hive is really cute. I found these adorable earmuffs for $20 and I'm obsessed with them. For those of you who are very spiritual or into astrology or Buddhism, religious thought, anything like that, you will love Sacred Circle. This is one of my top 3 favorite shops in Old Town. I love the astrology section, obviously. They've got a beautiful fire going and it's really cozy and always smells amazing in here. For any astrologers out there, this is a book that's definitely a must. Planets in Transit by Robert Hand. Such a classic.
We just went to Penny Post and I got my mild liner highlighters, which are my favorite, and I can only get them here in the US. And I got some jelly roll pens too, and those are my favorite. And I actually fell in love with those pens because I worked at Penny Post and I discovered them there when I was working there, so that was kind of cool. But then we just walked out and there's a new shop here in town called Miss Moxie's Moon Shop, and it's all about like period stuff for women and girls, and I just think that's so cool. How cute is it?
I noticed I noticed they have a stuffed uterus, and I thought that was funny, so here you go.
A stuffed uterus, stuffed animal. Love it. Look, it's a period store. They've got all these cool things for women and girls. Look at this. Period power. There we go. Look at this. This is so cool.
Some of my other favorite shops are Bishop Boutique as well as Mint Condition. Both are really great shops here in Old Town, but there's so many. Just walking down the alleyway streets, little cobblestone roads, there's so many shops to explore. This is the Hive. I love the feeling of walking into a beautiful shop and just looking at the colors and the textures and just admiring everything. I am a big believer that you do not have to own things to appreciate them, that you can walk into a beautiful high fashion store and admire everything without feeling any need to buy it. Next up, we discovered Old Town Books, which is a new bookshop that was not here 3-4 years ago. Oh my goodness, it is beautiful. You guys may remember from my slow living book recommendations, I love this book, The Sound of a Wild Snail Eating, one of my favorites. They had a small philosophy and new age section, but their cottagecore and slow living section was quite big. There are far too many amazing shops, boutiques, and restaurants to include in just this one video, so I'm actually going to include a blog post that I recently wrote, a few blog posts I've written over the years actually with all my favorite recommendations. But let's get on to the restaurants. So one of my favorite places that Alex and I would always go to for date night is Fontaine, which is a creperie, Parisian, French-inspired creperie. Alex and I used to dream about moving to France when we would have a date night here, which was quite magical. Gatsby's Tavern is amazing. Definitely top recommendation if you're here. Make that the one spot to go to if possible. If you like Vietnamese, Banh Mi is lovely for some nems, as well as their pho is really, really good here. Chadwick's is a classic, been here forever. Their grilled cheese with pimento cheese, fried green onions, and pickled red onions. Oh, so good. On brioche, just amazing. One of the best grilled cheeses of my life. Misha's Coffee is a must for coffee lovers. And Fish Market, of course, because this is where Alex's parents met.
You look so good. Who's that? Who's that? Do I know you?
I think you do.
Have we met before?
Yes, we have.
I think I've met you once upon a dream. Do you ever feel like a plastic bag drifting through the wind wanting to start again?
No.
For all my British friends out there, Carluccios. If you guys know Carluccios in the UK, we used to have one here in Old Town Alexandria, and we used to work together as wait staff.
Yep.
It's really fun. We got free food all the time.
Added it.
It was fun though. I
interesting.
loved waitressing. I really enjoyed being a waiter. It was a fun. I would do it again. I might do it again. It was fun. So when I used to waitress here at Carluccios back in 2017, I used to wake up at the crack of dawn at like 5 in the morning to get here by 6 a.m. and I would put these stanchions out, and they are so heavy. I would have to put out all the tables and chairs and stanchions out by myself in the dark when it was like super freezing cold in the dark, and yeah, crazy. We're back where we started. Life can take a whole 180 if you let it. If you have the courage to go outside of your comfort zone, to try new things, to put yourself out there, to take chances, and to not take no for an answer. It is amazing how much your life can change in 5 years. Alex, let's try to count how many jobs I worked here in Old Town.
Oh my gosh, there were a lot.
I was a preschool teacher at a Montessori school. Hated that. Worst job of my life. Even though I love kids, but working with 30 children all day, couldn't do that. Max 3 kids for me. 2 restaurants, one for 1 week, which was Union, and then Carluccios.
There was a paper store.
I worked at a paper store for about 2 weeks before I quit because I didn't realize that working at a paper store entails opening packages all day long. Basically, that's what you do at a paper store, is you literally get packages, you open them up, and then you restock shelves. That's literally what the job is. There's really nothing else to it working at a paper shop. I thought I would love it because I love stationery and notebooks and like paper supplies. Hated it. Never will do that again. Then there was a pet store. I worked at a pet store that sold nutritious, healthy food for animals, which I loved. I loved working at Allie and Indy, but the hours they wanted to give me didn't align with what I needed, so I ended up leaving that.
Consignment shop.
There was a consignment shop, children's consignment. I ended up being there the longest. That was a great gig because I got to run the store by myself 3 days a week and I didn't have a boss looking over me all the time, which I loved. Also worked at 2 adult fashion boutiques. Really nice. Loved that. Because I got to work on my blog and build my website during all the hours when customers weren't coming in. So that is some really quick advice I would give to anyone who wants to start a blog or a business. Like, work at a job where you get a lot of time to do your own thing. Because for me, working at a boutique was one of the best things I ever did to getting my blog up and running back in 2017 and just making my website and doing all that behind the scenes work. I would not be able to do this full time if it weren't for all that back end work I did back then. So yeah, find a job that gives you time to do those things. I worked 7 days a week, juggled 5 different part-time jobs at once. In between those jobs, I also dog walked. I walked many dogs in between jobs. And I did photography on the weekends as my own business. And I was blogging. Gotta salute those manifesting generators out there. We do a lot.
Cupcake.
This is my favorite place in all of Old Town. Are you ready to see it, guys? It's a cupcake shop. And now, if you ever come to Old Town, you will be told to go to Alexandria Cupcake because that's what's in all the guidebooks and all the tourist books. But I'm giving you a little inside secret. Don't go there because the cupcakes are not as good. You want to go to Lavender Moon. Best cupcakes in the world. I've never had better cupcakes than here. Forget Magnolia Bakery. It's Lavender Moon. Let's go in. I'm so excited. All right, guys, here we go. This is the Belgian chocolate. I used to eat this. I used to work at 529 Kids Consign next door in 2017.
Oh, really?
And so I used to come and get one like once a week. Every like after work, I would come probably more than once. I would come and get this. So good. The frosting is the best I've ever had in the world.
I love it.
You can't get better cupcakes than here. Oh my gosh, guys, here we go. Here it is. Oh, they're playing The Killers. Just fine. This is so cute. Oh my god. That is so insane. Guys, that's where I used to work. Right there. That was what gave me the inspiration to maybe someday own my own little consignment shop in a small town somewhere.
You still want to do that?
Oh yeah, definitely. Maybe in my 40s.
You still want to do the cafe slash plantery
Yep,
slash
it's all gonna be part of it.
books?
Yep, I have a whole vision. It's all in motion. It's already happened.
All in one.
But I'm gonna probably wait till my 40s to do that. After I go back to school at 44,
Okay.
45, then I'll do that.
Sounds fun.
Alright, this is the tunnel. I remember we used to bike through this together on date nights.
Yeah.
Or actually, when I used to work at Carluccios waitering, I used to bike this path on my way to the restaurant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like this way.
It was really nice to revisit this small town that Alex and I fell deeper in love, and where we decided we were gonna move abroad. It holds a lot of memories for us, but it's also kind of bittersweet because coming back, I feel how much I've changed and how much my life has changed, and it's nothing like it used to be. And there's some bittersweetness about that feeling of change being so drastic and dramatic. Looking back at who I was when I lived here, I was more insecure. I was in my early 20s. I stuttered a lot. I was afraid of speaking. I was afraid to disappoint people that I worked for, and I always felt less than a lot of the people that I worked for, and I don't feel that way now. Something changed, something clicked, and I'm really grateful that with time usually comes maturity, usually comes insight and wisdom and some sort of reflection. I would never trade places with who I was when I was 23. Isn't time such a beautiful thing?